Hey everyone, Dev here, and this video is a little bit different. This video has got a bit of a mixed bag. The first thing I'm going to do with this though is upgrade a wall. Now you're going to say, oh yeah, big deal, upgrading a wall. But for 4 million here, I can upgrade 2 more of these. Bam. Okay. The next time I'm going to be doing that will be the final wall. I've got 39 of these level 10 still to go, so I'll be keeping a countdown on that. So stay tuned for the final wall, which will be in a few weeks' time. Alright, on to the attacks. Today I have got a Gobowi to show you. This is probably my favorite video of the day. No surprises 100%, but there's some really interesting things that happen in this particular attack that I'm going to show you. Number one, it is a ring style base with a sort of central core part, the Eagle Artillery, and we've got an Inferno in here and one Inferno being upgraded over here. I have a Gobowi. I'm just going to unleash the beasts and show you what's up. First thing I do is put a jump down and then send in my bowlers as per, and my witches will follow in close behind. Now, triggered the CC, poisoned them off, standard stuff. Big deal, Dev, what are you on about? Well, interesting, because my two-finger deployment actually meant that my bowlers split into two groups, which not normally ideal, but you can see that the golem went with some witches and bowlers this way, which is good, clearing that part. And another golem and bowlers and witches went this way, which is also good. My heroes also went this way, which is going to be key a little bit later on, as you can see. After popping the Warden ability on that first salvo of the Eagle Artillery, it looks as though my troops are going to go completely around the Eagle. But here's the interesting part. You can see I've got a couple of skeletons taking advantage of that jump spell. Alright, so I've got one witch standing here, and I've got a few more witches over here, and a few witches over here. Now they're in the rear with the gear, where they're supposed to be, and there's one there as well. Okay, they're supposed to be at the back, the bowlers go in front. Alright, so this is where the real action of this clip is. So they come out of the rage, and it's the skeletons and the witches that end up taking out this Eagle Artillery. Remembering there's a no fire zone around that Eagle, which is interesting in itself. And then they use the jump spell and start attacking the town hall. Alright, so whilst the action's going on, this flank will dissolve, the bowlers will be destroyed by the point defences here, and the rest of them will be destroyed through here. As you can see, we have cleared this part. Now here's where the fun really begins. I've got a whole bunch of skeletons in there, and they're taking out the town hall. Those expos don't know which way to go. Then another interesting part is, all of a sudden, those skeletons are starting to engage the expos, and the mass of those skeletons, there's just so many skeletons that the expos can't keep up, and the queen is able to sneak round and take out one expo. Alright, so essentially I've got a group of witches, now a witch is very, very fragile, and that's a max expo, but they can't keep up. And in the end, it's those skeleton traps coming out. It's mass army of skeletons versus skeletons, a little bit like Clash Royale, that other Supercell game. Alright, but look, we also are engaging the enemy queen at 45. Those skeletons are doing a great job. There's no splash damage at all, so it is just one target at a time for the enemy defenses, and we are going, yep, just dropped it now. Now, because the rest of the skeletons there are trying to chew their way through the wall, alright, and the witches are engaging that queen, there she goes, she's about to go down, there she is, and those skeletons are going to burrow their way through that wall in quick time, whilst the witches shoot that elixir storage. So without any splash damage left, okay, I've got 4 or 5 witches, looks like 4 left, okay, so about 24 skeletons at any one time, which is an insane amount. That double barrel cannon doesn't know where to go, it's burst firing on one skeleton at a time, which is overkill. Alright, and speaking of overkill, this base is just about over and done with, and the witches carry the day in this case. The witch has become very quickly my second favourite unit behind the bowler, and of course I guess queen, if you count that as a unit or a hero, your choice. Alright, big turnaround from a few months ago when I was thinking that witches weren't very good at all. Once getting them to level 3 at Town Hall level with a Gobowi attack, you can see their real value. I still think though that 12 is a bit too much on their troop space. I'd like to see a 10 or 11 troop space. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, the next one is an attack on Scrapper. Little wee Scrapper, my Town Hall 3. He's essentially ballast in the war lineup. He's there to try and bring the war weight down on average for the clan. Look at all these buildings on the outside. Look at the middle part here. I've got a CC radius here. CC only takes 10, so it's guaranteed to be a baby dragon. Let's just watch this attack and see what happens. 20 giants, 3 wall breakers. Where are my walls? 10 wizards, 1 healer, 2 lightning. Alright, sorry Scrapper, you're in for a rough time. So this person starts off by dropping a wizard, activating my baby dragon, then makes a rookie mistake. Drops all the wizards in a clump, baby dragon picks them off. Then sends all the giants in and a healer. Baby dragon, not under any threat, takes them out. Not even that lightning spell is enough to do it. Here comes a second one for good measure. Oh, the baby dragon still standing. Over here, in desperation, drops the wall breakers, who go up to the camp and kamikaze themselves. Scrapper gets a rare defense, 11%, 1 star for a Town Hall. Must be a 5 or 6 against a Town Hall 3. Terence Romeo, hang your head in shame. And someone else who belongs in the corner of shame along with Terence is this guy, Nansky, whatever, Zone 6 Rebels. These guys had a rough time. Okay, number 2, have a look at this. It is a very low level Valk run, and here's some rookie mistakes coming your way. FIshguy is not normally known for his robust defense, but he's pretty happy with this result. First of all, we're using Quakes. How many times do I have to say it? At Town Hall 9, you are given jumps. Use them instead, please. Sends in a hog up top. Doesn't quite make the CC draw. Sends in another group of hogs. Here comes some bombs. Okay, and still doesn't manage to draw out all the CC until they go a little bit deeper. So as a CC draw goes, that was quite expensive in terms of troops. Then decides to go traditional with archers on the corner huts and attempts to poison these troops and skeletons that have been activated from the traps. There's a poison. Oh, troops move. When you drop a poison like that, you want to have some troops in the middle to draw the troops in there. Okay, and as a result, all the troops are able to avoid that poison for as long as possible and end up just picking off those wizards one by one. Now the poison's gone. Drops a wizard in the wrong place. Then a ring of wizards. Then a haste. Again, doesn't understand how the haste spell works. Just having real trouble with those CC troops. Okay, now that he's finally given up, he's going to go with his golems and peckers and Valks and the queen as well. Okay, again a haste spell, not quite sure what that's about. Alright, then a rage, and boom! Wizards in a clump, once again, outside bombs will get you every time, they'll wreck them. Okay, and speaking of wreck, this Gobowi, whatever it is out of steam. I'm going to fast forward so you can see what's going on quickly. The queen manages to pick up a little bit. Really, for a number 2 attacker on your list, you'd expect a little more. Far be it from me to disparage people too much, but this was a weird army composition and poor techniques, and long-time viewers of my channel will know that if you don't get the basics right, you end up ruining everything. So on the off chance that you're watching, mate, please learn from your mistakes. Okay, so the last one is an attack that Omega made. Now Omega's at number 5 and taking on number 1. The situation was that we'd won the war already, but for the last half of the war, it looked as though he needed to get a 2-star on this. So in the last hour or so, the situation unfolded and it looked like we were going to run away with the war quite comfortably. So Omega decided that it would, well, I decided for Omega to have a go and see if I could 2-star this one anyway. It is one of these open sort of ring style bases, and so I had to be a bit creative. What I was going to do to start with was try to clear this pocket with a queen walk, then try this pocket out here with a Gobowi. Now it's important that I also remove this layer of buildings as well, and this layer. Okay, so using the queen to reach over and getting the Gobowi to throw rocks over and stuff. hopefully leaving some buildings up so that the Valks could charge in and get into here via a jump spell and mess up the core and hopefully have enough percentage to take out 2 stars worth. So I start with the Queen. Okay, she does her thing, Queen walking, and then some breakers to jump, get in there. And then once that's set, over here. Now I've got max witches and a bowler and some other stuff in the CC for Omega as well. Alright, just to add a little bit of extra oomph in the attack. So we can see the Queen's doing her thing, and then we're doing the Gobowi thing over here, which is fantastic. Okay, now once those buildings have dropped, okay, it was important for me to get the Valks in at the right time. Now I actually missed the timing here. On hindsight, now would have been a good time to have the Valks go in. Okay, as the CC comes out, we've got a Hound and minions and an Archer, which we were ready for. We knew this was happening, hence no CC draw. Okay, not really concerned about the Hound too much, because if the Wizards pop it, then I know I've got some air power there in the Witches and the Wizards to take out the pups, as happens quite quickly. Okay, so the Queen busts her way through. Now the Valks are about to drop. Or actually, I'm going to drop a jump spell first, because the time is right. Once that air defense goes down, I'm going to put my jump spell down now. Up here is where the Valks are coming in. Ideally, I would have liked to have had them come in straight, cut their way through, and then come through. Instead, I've got a gap in the wall, which does make things a bit tricky. Okay, so I had to watch my deployment. Now, I'm just going to try to link it up. I want you to watch this expo right here. We can see the Valks are about to come in. There. Okay, I've paused it. You might have just seen that they were targeting that expo when that Valk up there came in first. Let's see it again. There it is. Okay, targeting from those Valks there. So I'm thinking, yes, I've got it right. The Valks are going to come in. They're going to go the long way around. They're going to go through that jump spell. And then once I get them in there, I'm going to rage them up. They're going to hit it at full speed. They're going to rip that town hall to bits. And we are in business. So away they go. Here's a rage. Wait, what? Did you see that? They were coming in and then they turned. They must have seen some shiny shoes on sale or something. Maybe they decided to go around the inside on the outside or whatever it is. Okay, and they end up going for those buildings and being pulled off course. Upon speaking about it with my clanmates, what we think has happened is the Valks retargeted once a building, doesn't matter where it is on the map, gets destroyed. As soon as a building is destroyed, the program makes the Valks recalculate which building is closest to them. And in this case, the buildings over here, the bomb tower, etc., were closer to them at that point than the Expo and the CC. So they recalculated once the buildings over here were being destroyed. So if you ever worry or ever want to know why Valks do what they do sometimes, that could be something that could explain it for you. As infuriating as it is. Anyway, as you can see, we ran away with this war 41 to 36. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a big deal. It was still just a bit frustrating. Alright, that's my mixed bag over and done with today. Thanks for watching. You know what to do from here. Like, share, subscribe. Have fun playing. And remember, Dev out.